Icon tunes. I see you. Icon tunes. You're the one I mostly used to join the class. Firstly, you're always the first person to join my class. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to send the link to everybody in the group so they'll know we're live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to today's class. We are there at our day 5 already, just remaining 2 days. Just remaining 2 days to the class finish. When we started this class, I didn't even know we were going to reach this time by now, because it was looking very, very long for me when we started this class. But now it's just looking as if we won't rush the class that at the moment we're already in day 5. So let's just hang around for a minute, like 1 or 2 minutes, so everybody can join and be a part of this when I start. So don't be angry if I've not started yet. So just give us 2 minutes so we can start this class, so everybody can be here. Malawi. Much love to you too, brother from Malawi. So let's just get straight to it, because we can't be waiting because of other people that have not joined earlier and keep you guys waiting here because you guys came in early. So we have to start. So they should learn that. So today we're working on color and typography, which is one of the best, which was one of the important things in logo design. Color and typography, because you can have a very, very good logo, but there's a very, very bad typography or a very, very bad color, because color do convey emotions. So your logo should be conveying it targets audience emotions. So my screen is not showing. Give me a minute. My screen is showing over here. You say my screen is not showing. Why are you not seeing my screen? Is everybody seeing my? Hope everybody's seeing my screen. If you are seeing my screen, say yes or seeing your screen in the chat, please, so I know everybody is seeing my screen. Everybody's saying my skin. I don't know why some people say my skin is not showing. Maybe it's your network. So let's just get straight to it, right? Color and typography. Let's just get straight to the class. Today's class is to help you understand the core meaning of colors and typography, the importance of color and typography in a logo design. But it's through color and typography that you're going to convey messages that the brand is trying to portray. So today's class is designed to help you understand how to make intentional choices, as I said earlier, in color and typography for strong logo designs. That what today's class is designed for. So let's just get straight to it. Today we'll be covering meaning of colors, how to choosing color combinations, logo color rules, typography basics, how to choose fonts for logos, spacing and readability. So that's what we'll be covering today. So let's get straight to the class. So firstly, color meaning. Colors communicate emotions, as I said earlier. Colors communicate emotion, personality, and perception before words. Let me say it again. Color communicates emotion, personality, and perception before words. As I said earlier, you can have a very, very good logo, but if your colors are not covered, communicating what the brand is all about, what the target audience is, what it's trying to promote, and what is trying to push as a brand. You can have a, let's say, a baby you can have a baby care brand now, and you're using a demonic type of typography. That will not convey that's for a baby brand. It will be conveying that it's for a horror movie or a horror brand. So typography can change the way, or typography or color can change the way people see your brand. So each color communicates a different emotions. Each color communicates a different emotion. When I walk you through, you see why most big brands use those color for their logo design. Not just, they don't just select any, because today I'm teaching you how to choose with intentions, not just because of it's fine. So as you can see in what I was portraying for you here, red communicates energy, passion, and urgency. And you can see now, look at the Coca-Cola logo. What are you seeing there? Red. And mostly if you are seeing Coca-Cola, what are they trying to communicate? They try to communicate passion, energy, and urgency. That's why you see. That's why now you see Coca-Cola everywhere. They're trying to communicate urgency, passion. So all these big brands they are saying that they are, from the typography to the color, is intentional. That it fits the brands. You get. So what the blue communicates? Blue communicates trust, scalability, and calmness. Stability and calmness. Our example here is the PayPal. PayPal, of course, people want you to trust them with your transaction and with your cash. And they also want you to let you know that yes, we are calm, we are not energetic, because of course if you want to put your money somewhere, if you want to use a transaction app, you have to trust them. You have to they have to be calm, they have to be stable, not trying to do a transfer and your money will be bouncing up and down. Your transaction will not go, or it will hang somewhere. So that was blue is conveying trust, stability, and calm. You get. So now black is conveying luxury, power, and elegance. With Apple's logo, their main color, their primary color is black. The primary color is black, except they want to do a commercial. You've seen different colors, or they want to try to match a collaboration. You see another color, but Apple's primary color is black. And once you hear Apple, what first comes to your mind? Power. What comes to your mind? Elegance, luxury. That's why you see most people want to buy Apple, because they know if they buy it, they'll be among the top, or they'll be among the people that are elegant or luxury. You get, see Gucci. What is Gucci's primary color? Black. It's a luxury brand. So forth and so on. So that's how you need to always check the emotions behind that color you're trying to put in your designs or in your brand in general. So yellow, what's yellow trying to communicate? Warmth, attention, optimism. With the McDonald's logo there, of course, McDonald's logo is a food brand. You want to always, if you are coming back from work, or you have a hard day, you be like, oh, let me go take a McDonald's. So that's giving a feeling or emotion of calmness, of warmth. You get. So every color has its own emotion. Every color has its own psychology behind every. There's a psychology behind every color, and that's why most brands you see, all those big brands you see, their color communicates emotions they are trying to portray to their target audience. So, color combination. Good combination creates balance and contrast. Remember what we said in day before yesterday class, where we're talking about contrast. Contrast is the level of difference between both symbols or both elements. If you can remember, good combination creates balance and contrast, not noise and confusion. You can have a very, very good logo, and if your color are not talking to each other, if they are not balanced, it will not be easy to read out. It will not be easy to read out. So your color must work in primary and accent. What is accent? Is a supporting color. Accent means a supporting color that supports the primary color of your brand or for your logo design. Look at the McDonald's logo. Their primary color is red, but they're using yellow to support it. They're using yellow to support the logo. The primary color of McDonald's is red, but it has a yellow symbol. So that yellow symbol is supporting the red itself. You get, and avoid too many colors. As you can see what I did here in this Yuga's logo. This is one of my logos. How many colors are you seeing here? Only 3 colors. There are only 3 colors. One for the background, one for the typography, and one for the icon. This is the upper one is the full version of the Yuga's logo design. I'm not the maximum of three colors. That is one for the background and one for the typography and like 2 for the logo. You get. Try to avoid putting too many colors in one, except is a most times all this foundation non-profitable organization, they would like to put red, yellow, blue, all those random colors. So those type of brands that mostly use all the whole colors that you can think about in this life. As I most times designing logo for a non-profitable organization seems a bit simple, feels a bit easy to design. I don't know if it's only me that sees it like that. So what are the logos? What are the logo colors that we have? A strong logo must work in one color before it ends more. What does that mean? It must work in black and white. It must work in black and white before it can proceed to other colors. But if your logo does not work in black and white, that's not a good logo. If your logo does not work in black and white, that's not a good logo. Your logo must work in black and white before you can proceed to start exploring other colors to fit the brand. That's why you must start designing your logo from black and white. The icons that we created yesterday, which color do we start it as? Black and white. You get black and white. So one color logo must always work. As you can see here, the Juvex logo, this is a black and white logo. This is one color. This is one color. You get me? And it must work in full color supporting use. This is the full brown color of the Juvex logo design. This is the full brown color of Juvex logo design. You can see you have black, you can see you have lemon green, and you can see you have white. This is the full combination of Juvex logo design. So your logo must work in these three forms. Must work in these three forms. You guys should take note of that. It must work in these three forms. It must work in black and white. It must work in two simple color, which is the center where you are saying lemon and green, and it should work in the full brown color. When I mean full brown color, not all the colors in your brand identity or your branding, just the selected few for just the logo design that will just the primary colors for the logo design. You get what I'm trying to say, right? So that is the color rules for logo design. It must not surpass 3, except if except if it's intentional, if it has a meaning behind it, not just putting different colors before you because of it feels fine. Everything must have intention behind them. I keep preaching that. So what we have covered today is color meaning. We have covered color combinations. We have covered color combination. And we have covered logo design color rules. I hope everybody is understanding what I'm saying or what I'm explaining to all of you. So now we're in typography. Typography basics. Typography is one of the color and typography are one of the essentials. It's mostly the essentials for logo design. Color and typography, because if you misplace these two, if you don't master these two, you can't really go far in logo design, because you always be producing beginner level logo designs. So typography basics. So fonts have personality. What did I say? Fonts have personality. Remember, color has emotions. You are seeing the difference, right? Color portray emotions, while color portray personality. You get personality. Color portray emotions, while fonts portray personality. You can see that difference, right? But they work together. So, and that personality shapes how a brand is perceived. That personality shapes how the brand is perceived. So let's take a look. Font has personality. As you can see, we have different type of fonts here. You can see we have different type of fonts here. We have the serif fonts. Serif fonts are let me go down here. We have the serif fonts. Serif fonts are classic and formal. I will show you an example of serif fonts now. This is an example of serif font. Serif font has these pointy legs down here. That is at the ending of each letter, it has a pointing end. Let me zoom this in. It has a pointy end at the beginning of beginning and ending of each letter. You can see a pointing end. That's what we call serif fonts. Serif in French means legs. So it has pointy legs down here. You get. So, and what did they portray? They portray classic and formal. Check the brands that use serif fonts. Most brands that use serif font are those old classic brand, old fashioned brand. They mostly use serif font because what they portray? They portray classic and formal. Of course, people want to be classic and they want to be formal. So that's why you see most of those elegant brands that are using sans serif font, and serif fonts. Serif font. We're talking about serif font, the first one now. Serif fonts. Most brands that you see using serif fonts that they are more elegant and more traditional and more high-end fashion. Check the high-end fashion brands. You can see most of them are using serif font. And mostly where serif font is used in prints. If you check all these old prints, it's mostly serif fonts that are using. Remember, serif fonts are the type of font that have these pointing edges, pointy ends at the side, at the ending of starting of the font. This is what we call serif fonts. This type of font that have pointy legs, that is serif font. So let's head over to sans serif. Sans serif means it does not have that leg. That is, sans means it does not have. So sans serif means it does not have those legs, and that's just the meaning in French, because it's French words. There is this sans serif. That means it does not have those ends. And this is mostly modern and clean. That's why I say I will show you. That's why I say modern brands use sans serif font. This is an example of a sans serif font. Look at it. You can see the difference between it, right? The ends are clean. They don't have those pointy ends here. They don't have those pointy legs here. Why here you can see how they have this has pointy legs here, right? So sans serif means it does not. That is the meaning of sans serif. Sans serif means it does not have those legs. You get me? So mostly these brands you can see them in tech brands because they want to be modern and clean. They don't want all this classic and formal. That is not the personality of a tech brand or a modern brand these days. As I say, most modern brands, most tech brands are not using sans serif font. They're not using serif font. Sorry, not sans serif. They're not using serif font. They're using sans serif font. Look at Apple. Apple is using sans serif font. You get me? They want to be modern and clean. You hope you understand what I'm saying here, right? So we have this is 4 types of fonts we have. So now our top fonts that we're looking at here is script fonts. Script fonts. And what personality does script fonts have? It has elegant and expressive. Elegant and expressive. This is script fonts down here. These are what we call script fonts. You can see mostly script fonts are you see them as if they are handwritten, almost stylish handwritten, but not fully. But you get what I'm trying to say. So that's why I say that they are expressive and elegant. They are expressive and elegant. That's what we call a script font. These are script fonts. They are expressive. You see them is mostly like a stylish handwritten font. You get me? So most brands that are using this, you can see is mostly photography. You can see it's mostly photography brands are using this. Most photographers that they use script fonts for their logo. If you take a look at all those logos, they use script fonts for their logo. So that's why the personality of script font is elegant and expressive. So if you brand you're working with, try to say, okay, we're elegant and expressive. Note, this is a personality, not emotion. Remember, color is emotion, font is personality. So if they told you want to be expressive, but it does not mean you have to use a script font for that. You get me? But most brands are not using script fonts. Script fonts are mostly for weddings. If you want to design for weddings, you can see they're using script fonts. If you want to design for weddings, or if you want to design for all those badge for all these children's outing, or if you get what I'm trying to say, so that's when they use script fonts for that. So now the last type of font that we have here is display fonts. Display fonts are bold and attention grabbers. Display fonts are bold and attention grabbers. Let me show you an example of a display font, then you can see it by yourself. So this is an example of a display font. Display fonts are fonts that are not sans serif, they're not sieve, and they're not script fonts. You mostly see them that are customized fonts. They are customized fonts. Mostly you can see that some of them will have some patterns on them. So that's what we call display fonts. Fonts that are not sans serif, they're not sieve, they're not script. You can see them in other style. That is a display font. That's why most stylish, most of them you can see that are expressive. That's why I say they're expressive and bold. You get? So most brands that use this are modern clothing brand. Just take a look. Just take a look at your modern clothing brand. You can see it's most of them that use a display font. So they'll be expressive. You get me? And note, any font you are choosing, for your logo, right? It must be readable. It must be readable. If you can't read it yourself, or if you show somebody your logo and say, okay, what is on this logo, and the person has to look to the logo like for 5 seconds or 3 seconds before you can see, oh, this is what is here, that is not a good logo. Your font for your logos must be understandable, must be readable. They must not be decorative. Readability over decoration. Readability over decoration. Because types affect brand tones. Types affect brand tones. So now imagine, now Apple, we can keep the Apple's logo. Imagine if Apple use a script font and write Apple. How will you be seeing Apple? You'll not be seeing Apple as Apple now, as a tech and minimal brand. You get me? You'll not be seeing. Imagine if Apple use a script font and wrote down Apple. You get me? The brand personality will change overall. So that's why I say it's important for you to master typography in logo design, and that's why I'm breaking it down for you this night. So let's head over to choosing. Now we'll head over to choosing font for logo designs. Choosing font for logo design. The right font supports the brand voice. The wrong one destroys credibility. You get me? The right font supports the brand's voice. Why the wrong one destroys the credibility? Your font must match the brand personality. It must work in small size. Let your font not be over designed, and avoid trending font for core logos. You get me? With the example that I showed you here, Which brand match this brand personality? I'm asking you now, type it in the comment section. Is it the first one, second one, or third one? Which fonts that you're seeing here match the brand the personality of this brand, Navita? Is it the first one, second one, or the third one? So, as you can see, just by changing the font of Navita, you can see you're already. Who said third one? How will you say third one fits the Navita's personality? Icon tones. So as you can see, we just by putting different fonts here, the brand voice have changed already. The brand tone or the brand personality has changed already, just by changing the fonts of this brand. You get me? Just by changing the fonts of this brand. So you should always work on that exercise. Try out different fonts and always be specific of the one that will work for your logo design. With just this small demonstration I showed you here, you can see how the brand tone or the brand voice just changed entirely. You get me? So the first one here is a script font. The last one here is a display font, and the first one is a script font. Second one is a sans serif font, while the third one is a display font. Hope you can see that. It's the second ones that fit the brand personality. For those that chose second, clap for yourself. You are paying attention to the class. So spacing and readability. If it is hard to read, as I said earlier, if it is hard to read, it's already failing as a logo. If it's hard to read, it's already failing as a logo design entirely. If it's hard to read. So spacing in logo design is very, very important. Spacing is very, very important in logo design. Breathing room is also important. That is what I said earlier, clear space. Breathing room is also important in logo design, because crowded logo reduce trust. So with the diagram that I showed you guys here, with the example at your right, which one is the best spaced and best readable in this example here? Is it the first one, is it the second one, or is it the third one? Let me know in the comment section. Spacing and readability. Which one is perfect for the logo design here? If you said first one, you are correct and you have good instincts. But if you don't say first one, you are also learning. Don't be shy about yourself. The first one is the perfect spacing for readability and spacing and space. The second one you are seeing here, right? They are compact. As I say, breathing space, they are compact. The second one, the typography is compact. Why the third one? Of course there's space, but it's too much. There's too much space. There's too much space. I will advise you when designing your logo, right? If it's in Illustrator, right? If it's Illustrator or any software, but most I prefer Illustrator. Try to the spacing within your default, the spacing within your default typography. Try to enclose it a little bit, just a little bit, not very well, just a little bit. Try to enclose it a little bit. Anytime you're designing anytime you have a typography, right? There's a sans serif typography, just like Jovex here, right? Once you have the defaults, right, try to enclose it just a little bit. That will give your logo more form. Why not number 3? Number 3 has too many spacing. There's too many spacing in number 3. There's too many spacing in number 3. Check all your tech brand or check all your modern brands that are using sans serif font. You won't see a lot of spacing like this. You get me? So this is actually the end of the class. This is actually I hope everything I said here actually give you an insight on logo design. Because today today this is very, very important in your logo design career, color and typography, because I would say color and typography is the top 3 things that is the most important in your logo design. Color and typography is top 3 things that is more important to your logo design. After creating the concepts, because that's the first important thing in your logo design. The concept first. After creating your concepts, then typography is the second, while color is the third. You get me? Why color is the third. So just try to walk away. Try to find a way around logo design. Try to keep on researching. How do you choose and apply colors for your logo design? How I choose color for my logo design, I told you when receiving a brief from a client, right, that when receiving a brief from a client, the briefing, the tone of voice, the personality he showed you, right? Let's say okay, we want our brand to have a trustworthy feeling, and we want people to trust us, or we want brands to always be calm around us. Of course, you're going to choose blue. That's what will come first to your mind. Let me just use blue for the example of this. So how did I find the perfect blue for my typography? What I normally do is that I find one core color first. That's the perfect goal. I go on Pinterest, I go on Behance. Mostly it's on Behance I do find my color palette. But that want to give me an accurate color palette first before I find the others that I need. So once I find that first blue, that's the first color first, then I will start looking for which one align with the core color, that's the primary color. Okay, white of course will go with blue, light green of course will go with blue, but does it fit your color, your brand personality? That's what you ask yourself. So what I normally do is I get a dark blue. This is an example. I get a dark blue or a normal blue, right? I'm answering your question of color, right? And I'll get a lighter version of that for it to complement the variations of logo. I'll get a lighter version of that. Then let's say I will now have to, of course, white will be in your logo. White will be in your logo. That is for the typography, or because white must be in your logo design. It's not a must, but it's for 80% or 90% of your logo, white must be there, because that will be one of your color variations. You get, just don't try to find every color first. Try to find one. Then from there you can start finding the others. You can see it. So everything will build up, and you will have a complete set of color palettes. Today's class is not a longevity class like that. So it's unlike yesterday that we is, of course, electrical field, because if you look at electrical is natural. Is have a natural feeling. So what give electrical have a natural feeling and have an energetic feeling. And what are those colors that gives that energetic and natural? What color give that energetic and natural feeling? Is actually green. So you can have light, mostly light green gives that energetic feel and natural. So you should be working with green in your electrical field for logo design. I'm answering Abdul. Yes, of course. If your clients demand a particular color, of course use it. But the thing is that if you see that the color will not work for that band, I always say you are the professional in this. If you see that the color will not work in that band, right? Let the client know that so sir, please, this color will not work in this band because due to your tone of voice or your band personality, this color you selected here will not work. If you said, oh no, if you says, oh no, I want that color, you say okay, you say okay, it's fine, since I've explained to you this is what will work for your band and you didn't accept, fine, I'll work with your color. You get me? One thing I will always advise you guys to have is that do have good relationship with your clients, because is not always you will having new customers. One of your source of income will be through referrals. You get, so do have a very good and organized customer service. For those of you that was not in the beginning of the class, that is before we started the whole 7-day class, I already told you guys that I'm going to be introducing a digital product, like a template, for the business of logo design. This will help you to structure your career, for you to be more professional, for you to have more structure. And once you have more structure in your career, the better the structure, the better the clients you get. So be a professional in your field. Try to be relative. If you go to a restaurant and they have bad customer service, no matter how good their food is, you won't go back there. You won't go back there because you are not thinking about the food now. You're thinking about the experience you got while getting the food. Because bet me, most times it's not just the final file that makes the client to accept your logo. It's mostly the experience that you got during your conversation and during the process of your logo design. And that's where presenting your logo do fall in. And in that business package, if logo design presentation is among it. So if you want that will be, you stay till the end of this class and I will show you guys the way to use it. So try to have a good relationship with your client, because that way you have if another person say, oh wow, this is your logo design, you say yes, so is one of the designer that designed it, oh give me his number, there you have another customer. You get. So do have a good relationship with your clients. That's one other thing I would advise you to do. Don't be ignorant. Ignorance will not take you to anywhere. Don't be ignorant. So today is a wonderful day. So I hope everybody the point of creating a logo for yourself. The point of creating a logo for yourself is that I can't because every designer has that problem, creating a logo for yourself. If you are finding it hard to create a logo for yourself, give yourself the same process that you give your clients to create a logo. So from the questionnaire to the questioning to the keyword, ask yourself those questions too. Not just sitting down and say, oh, what will fit my brand. Ask yourself those questions too, and you bet me you come up with a good logo design. So choose your work, your typography and your color strategically, intentionally. You get, choose your typography and your color intentionally. Don't just choose it like say, oh, I saw this color online and it look good on this other type of it look good on this guy's logo. Okay, I will use this for my own. If it does not match with your brand, don't use that logo, because don't say because it looks fine on the other logo, that means it will look fine on this logo. It does not. If it does not match with brand personality, don't use that. Try to find your own colors. You get. So do take care, everybody. Have a very, very lovely night and reflect on this class that we had today. Ask yourself those questions before you send out your final logos. You get me? So have a very, very good night. Tomorrow we're going to have another section. Tomorrow is actually, let me check up the calendar. I'll check up the calendar and let you guys know in the group that what we'll be having tomorrow also. I hope this class was a very, very lovely class for everyone. I hope you guys learned something today, something new today. So do take care of yourself, take care of your family if you have one. So good night, everybody.